We'll pretend we're obviously starting where we're starting. So, hello guys, how you doing today? You doing better if this mic is working?
Hello?
There we go.
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Awesome. Nice to meet you both. So my name is Steve. I do mortgage protection, retirement planning, and final expense insurance. You guys had sent in the form, we booked the appointment obviously. How long have you guys lived here?
We've lived here about 6 or 7 months now.
Got it. Okay, awesome. You have any kids?
We have 4 children.
Good for you. That must be hard. I just had one, and I'm trying to keep up. So that's awesome. Okay. So I'll assume you guys sent in the form, like all the clients that I meet with, because you want to make sure if either of you don't come home tomorrow, or either if you can't work because of an illness, that you have something that's going to protect the other. Would that be safe to say?
Yes.
Got it. Perfect. So the process is super simple. I work with 20 plus A-rated carriers. So our goal here is simple today. We're going to figure out what you can get approved for based on your health, and then what's going to be affordable in your budget to protect and make sure that none of those things that we just talked about ever happen. Then we're going to submit an application, and I'm going to personally go to bat for you guys with the insurance carriers being in your corner to make sure that they approve you, because it's hard to get approved. They base it on health. And I'm going to be in your corner and make sure that we can get that done and that we have protection for you and your kids. Make sense?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. So Brandon, you're 41.
Yep.
Awesome. What's your date of birth?
6/10/79.
Got it. And Michelle, 40?
40, 3/10/80.
Got it. Awesome. What do you do for work, Brandon?
I'm in the restaurant business.
Awesome. I used to be in the restaurant business. Nice. How do you like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Long hours, a lot of work.
Gotcha. Okay. And Michelle?
I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Gotcha. Okay. So you do the real work, like my wife. Okay. Cool. So health, number one thing, right? Brandon, have you ever had anything major health-wise? Heart, stroke, cancer?
No heart, no stroke. I got a little bit of maybe high cholesterol. I think I'm on the Centerpro. And I also I got a heartburn, so I take something for heartburn too. I think that's all. That's all about all I take.
Got it. Anything you used to take in the last 10 years that was prescribed, they don't have to take anymore?
No, I don't think so.
Beautiful. Okay, awesome. Do you both have a good primary care doctor?
Yes.
Okay, terrific. And Michelle, same thing?
I have a little bit of pre-diabetes,
Okay,
and I'm on metformin for that,
got it.
and that's about all.
Awesome. Well, what's great is you're pre-diabetic. So when it comes to insurance, one of the key things is you want to really get the insurance before it progresses as it can and sometimes does to something else, insulin, what have you. So it's good that we're doing this right now. Great. So what do you guys have that acts like life insurance that would help offset the cost of this loan if something happened to you tomorrow?
I don't currently have anything in place right now.
Got it.
I set up a 401k.
Cool, 401k. So no work insurance?
No, I do have work insurance also, yes.
Got it. Okay, great. And you pay or do they pay all of it?
They pay, and I pay half.
Gotcha. Okay. So what I like to educate clients on is this. When it comes to work insurance, you rent it, you don't own it. If you left your job, retired from your job, lost your job, what have you, you don't take your insurance with you. That makes sense? Okay.
They said I could renew it though.
Got it. Okay. So here's how that looks like. When you leave the group and you go to renew it, you can, but you're going to pay exponentially more. The reason on a work insurance it says supplemental is because you're supposed to supplement it with something private. That make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have, you mentioned the 401k that you have,
Yes.
right? How long have you had it?
About 7 years now.
7 years, okay, gotcha. How much roughly do you think you have in there?
About 20, 30,000, maybe somewhere in there.
Gotcha, okay. So 401ks are great, and I encourage them, you should use them, they're a great tool. However, here's the issue when it comes to having that money to offset what we're looking to do here. If tomorrow you had something where you needed that money, number one, you would pay a 10% penalty to the government, right? Number two, you don't even have in there enough. If you needed the $250,000 that we know we're covering on the loan, you don't even have that available if need be. And if you did, and you took it out prior to 59.5, you would pay it against your earned income tax. So let's use round numbers. If you make 100 and you took 100, now you're paying taxes on 200, right? So that's why mortgage protection and what we're going to look here to do today, it really protects obviously life and all that stuff, but it's protecting asset in the way that we work stuff and the way that where you have available monies that you're not going to be paying tax on. That all make sense?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm big into the budget. We all have one. My goal is to make sure that what we do here today is going to be in your budget. You don't have to have the biggest, baddest insurance plan, but you need to have something. And what's great is, as fairly new homeowners, you can increase your coverage. So every year, we do annual reviews, we get you something lower today, get approved based on health, we can increase it. So it's like we're at the starting place. So I'm the budget guy, I'm your friend there, we're gonna find what fits it, right? So your monthly mortgage payment is about what?
$1,400 roughly.
$1,400.
Insurance and everything.
Okay, cool. What would you say your rough monthly net income is?
It's about 3,600, I think.
I don't know. She does all the bills.
Okay, you're in charge of money. Cool. All right. So I'm going to talk to you. So 3,600 on the income. So if we roughly looked at your bills, what do you think roughly you're spending a month in addition to your loan?
Well, let's see, we've got the car, utilities, TV, school.
Insurance.
It's probably about 1,200 a month.
Got it. Okay. So 1,200. Here's what I'm even going to do. 1,200 actually sounds a little low comparatively to some of the people I meet with, and I tell you why. This needs to be the staple in your budget. So I'm going to add another $600. You guys take a vacation, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, probably, because that's not including groceries and stuff.
Okay, groceries, great point. So let's say we're at 1,800 plus your 14, now we're 32. You bring in 36 consistently, right? So would you agree we have an extra $400 in our budget every month?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, got it, cool. So Michelle, I'm gonna ask you this question from a place of caring, right? What would you do if tomorrow you got a knock on the door and an officer had a bloody license and he told you that Brandon just got in a car accident and he wasn't coming home?
Well,
With all due respect, you're dead. All due respect.
Wow, I've never thought about that. I have no idea. I wouldn't have any income,
Right,
and I've got 4 kids at home to take care of.
exactly. So clearly, I would think you'd agree that there's the high importance that we need to make sure that that doesn't happen, and that's why we're here. We're again going to do it in an affordable way. Now, Brandon, I'm going to ask you this: if you had a heart attack or stroke tomorrow and you couldn't produce $3,600 a month, what would you do?
I don't know. I haven't thought of that before.
401k.
Maybe use our 401k, maybe? I don't know.
Got it. And again, we'd have the 20,000 to try and cover 250, so it would kind of not work.
Yeah. We'd be left in probably a bad situation.
Gotcha. So we're all in agreement of, again, the importance and kind of what we're looking to accomplish here, right? Okay. So you don't need, again, the biggest, baddest insurance. We just need to give enough. You owe $250. What's the value of your house?
I think we just got it appraised for like 320, 325.
Got it. Awesome. So you have 70,000 of equity. The biggest thing that I do with most clients, because most people I meet would have equity, is we're protecting the equity. So if we're looking at this, we can look at covering the $250. However, the way you want to look at your loan is this: over time, you're gonna pay your loan down. You're also gonna increase your equity and value. So it doesn't mean we have to get a $250,000 policy that may or may not be out of your budget. We can get 100, we can get 150. Because if you really think about it, if I handed you 100,000 tomorrow, if one of those scenarios happened, and we divide it by your loan, that's gonna give you the amount of time that you need before you need to make the next decision on what's next. That make sense?
Yes.
So what I'm gonna do is run some numbers, and we'll look at kind of 3 options, and an option for each of you. Now I'll ask you this, you are the stay-at-home mom. Were you thinking of covering yourself, or was it more the importance on you only?
Well, we primarily wanted to make sure he was covered since he had the income coming in. But if I don't have any insurance, then we might need something for me to have in place in case something did happen, so he wouldn't be out of pocket.
Perfect. So most people I meet with, what we do when we're going through this budget and picking options is we want to try and figure out obviously the total amount that we're going to spend for both of you, right? One of the things I'd say for you, Michelle, is you're not also saving anything for retirement since you're staying at home. So we're going to look at one plan that has a cash back option. And the way you want to look at that is you're putting money aside for yourself that you really need to start doing, thinking about the future. And it'll protect you against passing away, number one, and it'll protect you on things like strokes, cancers, heart attacks, what they consider chronic, critical, or terminal illnesses. So for you, what's great is it's a forced savings plan of money that we know we need to put away as well. We can look at the same for you, but maybe we don't do the cash back and make your premium a little lower since you are contributing to a 401k. And this way we can kind of find the best of both worlds, fit the budget, be approved, and cover everything. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Got it. Okay, perfect. So what I like to do, guys, is I like to ask a lot of questions. I think whoever asks the most questions wins, because you're trying to essentially put the client into the position that they're not going to have objection. Obviously, there ain't going to be a tremendous amount of objection, and I really appreciate that. But if you do it that way, whether it be on the phone or the in-home, and you put clients in that position where you ask the questions, they answer it, I'm not talking to the client and telling them what to do the whole time. I'm trying to educate, I'm trying to ask questions, and I'm trying to figure out what's going to make the most sense. So I appreciate you guys, you're awesome. I hope to book a real appointment with you when we get home. I'd like 8 of you guys in a day, that would be really awesome. So thank you guys, I appreciate it.